Yo, it's your man with the plan, Mark Solars here to talk about Genshin Impact. Okay, boys and girls, I have fallen into the gacha hole. Oh Lord, for many of those don't know, I have been really hyped about this game. I really haven't really talked about it on my channel because I don't really know. I didn't really know how predatory the game was going to be or how bad the mechanics were going to be in the game, and the gacha mechanics, and this how the game's gonna work when you progress. Will they like give you limited progression? You have to buy items to progress. I didn't know how the game was going to go, but on the surface, it looked really impressive outside of those questions. And I really didn't want, like I said, I didn't really want to talk about it until I was sure that it was a game that at least had decent mechanics to it, even if for a gacha game, even though it's a step above all gacha games I've ever seen. For many of those who have seen this game, it's often compared to Breath of the Wild, and I would say it's a fair assessment. 60% of it is very Breath of the Wild. The way you traverse the world is like Breath of the Wild, and the art style is kind of like cel shaded, but it's not really. It is cel shaded for the most part, like the environments, but I could see why people think it's Breath of the Wild, because I have a lot of instincts from Breath of the Wild because I used to play that game a lot, and I do certain things in this game like Breath of the Wild. You can play this game like Breath of the Wild if you want to. So yes, it is very much like Breath of the Wild, but I would say like 50%, the other 50% is very different, or at least changes up from Breath of the Wild, which doesn't really make it a fair assessment to call it a ripoff Breath of the Wild. But it just has a really good package and a really good feel around everything you got to do. And I kind of really wanted to just talk about my experience with Genshin Impact, and this is my personal experience, because I did want to do like an analysis on a lot of stuff and how stuff works, but I think there's enough videos to tell you how to play the game for the most part. I'll tell you like small things that I've noticed, but I'm just going to tell you my experience, because there's tons of videos out there talking about what to do in the game, how to do it. Just go click on those videos. But I kind of want to start with how I kind of heard about this game. I saw that there was this. Well, I was looking at Breath of the Wild, and I kept on seeing this Breath of the Wild like game called Genshin Impact. Hasn't came out yet. I was like, okay, let me see what this is about. And I watched a few YouTubers on this game, and I instantly was extremely excited about this game because it was everything I wanted. I did think it was a shame that it wasn't a full package for a game. Like, it wasn't just a straight up game, that wasn't online, wasn't have gacha. But you know what? I was still hyped nonetheless. And then I kind of pre-ordered this game for the $10 pre-order thing, just because I was like, okay, I don't know. It gave you like the items to draw, like at least one round of characters and a few extra things, and I didn't know how bad, because I knew the game was picking up popularity by the time it was about to come out, and I didn't know if the game was going to have like slow download times, which it did on the PC because of how many people were downloading it. But for the PlayStation, it didn't. But I was like, okay, I just want to play this day one. I just want to see what's day one, and I'll make a video day one. And I started up that game, and I instantly became hooked. It was so good. It's so good. Oh my god. The story and the voice acting, it's you know what this story and voice acting reminds me of? Oh, I guess not the voice acting, but I'll talk about the voice acting separately. But the story reminds me of something that'd be in a Atelier Ryza, or like, I guess Atelier Ryza is a good comparison. I know it's not a popular game for me to compare it to like give you a good idea what the story's like, but it's exactly how I feel about this story. It's a very light story with a slightly heavy motif over it, because it's like the one thing about similar to this game in Atelier Ryza, since it's on the mind, since the new one got announced, Atelier Ryza had the story where it was like it had serious elements in the background of it, but the foreground was more about the day to day and the goofs and the politics and stuff. And that's kind of what this game is about. It's kind of like the politics and the goofs and the other stuff is up front in your face, and then in the background, sooner or later you're going to hit the real story, and then after you hit the real story for a while, it'll slow down and go back into day to day, the stuff you do day to day in the game, and the different quests and stuff, and the character quests, and it kind of goes up and down like that throughout the whole time, and it's an interesting experience, like how I said, like how Riza is, because even the gameplay kind of shows that up and down dip. I guess because there are level caps. Well, it's called there's two levels. There's the character levels of the characters you're using, and there's the adventure level or the world level. And basically, the adventure level is what keeps you from going into a higher level quest early. And it kind of forces you to play the side quest and and explore the world of the game, because that's literally how you raise the level. You raise the level to get into the next part of the story by exploring, going through different adventures, different side quests, character side quests. There actually are character side quests for certain characters, even if you don't have them in the party with you. I don't know if it really activates, because all the characters I've had, you know what, I'm going to get into that in a second since I'm on that topic. But yeah, it's a very peaceful experience overall. The combat is nice and fluid. Every character has their own special ability. The movement of every character is smooth, and it's simple. It's just simple enough where anybody can pick it up and it's easy. But it's also hard enough to where later on, if you play the game pretty much for more probably than 12 hours, you'll start realizing stuff is going to start kicking your ass real bad. And I think right now they have about 2 or 3 chapters in the game, or acts in the game. No, I think they have 2.5 acts, and they're coming out with the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. I think they have 6 acts in total coming out. So as time goes on, the enemies get harder and harder and harder, and a little bit quicker and a little bit more responsive to you. But the first area is very basic, just to get your feet wet, and just to try out different characters' abilities. Actually, you know what the combat kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of a mixture between Neir with a little bit of Breath of the Wild mixed with kind of how the setup for Xenoblade is, how you switch between the 4 different characters and they all have different effects and they kind of can stack on top of each other. It's a really, really different experience. You probably see the gameplay on the background of this video just to see how the gameplay looks. It's a very interesting action time combat gameplay, and I think right now they have about 2 or 3 chapters in the game, or acts in the game. No, I think they have 2.5 acts, and they're coming out with the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. I think they have 6 acts in total coming out. So as time goes on, the enemies get harder and harder and harder, and a little bit quicker and a little bit more responsive to you. But the first area is very basic, just to get your feet wet, and just to try out different characters' abilities. And that's where I kind of want to talk about, because this is where the biggest controversy and the biggest deal breaker for some people, and it's also very different on how it's done from many other examples I've seen in the past. And that is that most of the characters are pretty much acquired through gacha. They give you a baseline of probably, I think maybe 8 characters, 8 elements, right? I think. Let me see. Yeah, I think they give you 6 or 8 characters free. So you basically get a baseline cast that have pretty much decent abilities, that you can pretty much go through the main game with, that they have so far at least with, and they all have one of each element, so you can try out all the different combinations, and depending on if you want to put money into it, or if you play enough of the game. Like the game's very, very, very generous with the gotcha summon items. So I think they call it Acquaint Fate. I think Acquaint Fates, and there's Intertwined Fate, which is for the special pools, which you probably need to use more than the Acquaint Fates. But how it kind of works is the game pretty much gives you, throughout the game, they give you, I would say the game, you probably can get nice 4 or 5 pulls up until level 15. I don't know, I can't tell you after level 15 because that's where I'm at right now. Because you pretty much get enough for, like, through the side quests and stuff, enough of, like, there are currency that goes into the Intertwined Fates and Acquaint Fates. And you always kind of want to go for Intertwine if you can, because those are the special ones. And the special one pretty much has all has the other one encompassed in it. But Intertwine Fate is a little bit harder to get than Acquaint Fate. But you probably could get 5 pulls free up into the point where I'm at in my game, because they give you one for every, like, I think for level 7 and 14 or 15, they give you, like, every 7 to 8 levels, they give you 10 free pools. At least the 2, from what I've seen, the 2, because I'm only in level 15, so I got 2 free rounds of pools. And like I said, you always want to do 10. You always want to do the 10, because the gacha has horrible rates for single pools. It's all about the pools for 10 or plus, because the 10 plus pools give you at least 1 level 4 or higher, which is almost like a 75% guarantee you're gonna get a character. So you're going to get, as long as you play the game, you're at least going to get like 3 to 4 characters probably before, you know, you're guaranteed to get a character for sure, a few characters, and they're all pretty good. They're all cool design, and they're all pretty good. The funny story with me with this fact is that I have incredible gacha luck, and my rule with gachas is I never put any more money into it, at least at the very, very beginning, unless they do a big expansion. But I normally don't put any money into a gacha more than I would put into a meal. So I only put in $20. The $10 I put in for the pre-order thing, and then $10 into the gacha. And I ended up pulling pretty much, I think I have 13 out of the 23 playable characters right now. I think I pulled every single character I wanted, like, in those 2 pulls. Like, literally, I pretty much have any character I really want in my pools. I have, like, what, I can't remember, what are the characters, some of the characters I have? I have, like, I think I have, you know, of course you get the main character. I have Venti, the banner character, the first banner character we have. I have Keqing, I have diluc, I have Noel, I have Xingqing, xiangling, for those who play the game, just to let you guys know. Xiangling is amazing. Kaeya, Lisa, I think those are the free ones. And Amber, well, she's free too. I have Sucrose, I have Kongyong, and Razor. So I pretty much got, like, pretty much all of, like, the little fan favorite characters that people just absolutely love. And I feel bad for the people who really have really bad gacha luck. I really have really good gacha luck. Well, my luck with gachas, normally the characters I really want I get, but I don't get any extras, which I'm fine with, because this game, I'm having a hard time with the characters I have to choose between, like, the 13 characters I have to choose from. And I know that sounds like a it's like an asshole saying that, but it's just fascinating that I got pretty much a lot of characters like that. It's in every character I wanted to. I'm pretty fortunate, so I didn't have to put a lot of money into the gacha, because I know some people who put 80 and still haven't got the character they wanted. But that aside, like I said, the gacha is really not that bad. But since my luck with gacha is really good, in general, my luck with games in general like this, and pulling and getting the cards I want and getting Yu-Gi-Oh cards I want, like, I'm a good puller. And you know what? I ain't going any farther than that. But I have so much fun with that. like so much fun. I might save everything else for after this event, like after for the next event or the next expansion, because I have a lot. I have too much for me to handle right now. But yeah, overall, I think the voice acting is really nice. Some people, I can see some people not liking it because the characters in general, like, okay, overall, the characters, most of the characters in this game are very, they're very cutesy. Like, there's like 4 categories of characters. They're cute, sexy for the girls, and then for the guys, they're very either very beachy, like, you know, very like pretty boyish, or they're very like a twink. They're very, you know, they're not all, there's no really big grueling buff man character, or like they're all pretty characters. They're all pretty and cute characters. There's not that many like over the top gruff characters, like, and the girls, there's like no, so far from I can tell, there's really, really pretty characters, but they're reasonably, they're no like over the top sexy characters. Like Lisa is like one of the characters you'll see. They give her the vibes of a sexy character, but they don't give her like the over the top chest or the over the top like outfit. They're all very like semi. They're cute. They're cute and sexy enough to where people really like them, but they're not like like over the top swimsuits, like bikini armor and stuff. They're all really cool looking. They're all designed really cool, I gotta say. They kind of remind me, like, this is what these characters remind me of. They remind me of Grand Blue characters. This is how they're all designed, and the feel of the characters. They're very Grand Blue-ish. And I'm fine with that because I love how Grand Blue characters are designed, and this screams the design of Grand Blue characters. And also, for those who are watching that are like, you know, part of the Genshin Impact team, if you watch any English video about how much people like your game, you know, please add horned waifu in the game. Horned waifus, like dragon looking waifus. I see you got my girl Sukuros over here has dang like wing ears, like little fox ears. So, you know, I wonder if there's any dragon goddesses, you know, I'm just asking because, or girls with horns, because girls with horns, I probably should stop there. But yeah, so the progression is really nice, I gotta say. The only problem I can see right now with the progression is that I'm at level 20. My characters are at level 20 right now, and there's a wall for the level. Like, it's easy to get your level 4 characters past this wall of progression to get to the next level. Like, every 20 levels, the characters need to give up. You need to find some items for the characters to break this level cap that they have. And the level 4 characters are easy to do this with, as long as you progress so far into the game. But the higher level characters, it's like you actually have to look for that stuff in the wild. And it's like, it's pay to win. Like, you can pay. The only thing you have to pay for is the gacha. There's no pay to win in this game. There's literally no pay to win. They designed this game like a real video game. That's what I'm saying. Like, they did not drop their. They really made sure that you have to work in this game, and that's what I like. But I think that's the only concern. I think it's a little hard to find some of those items for the level 5s, and you know, the main character gets one for free if you go through the story. But overall, I gotta say that part's not the problem. I gotta say, in the future, I think there's 6. Like I said, there's 6 expansions coming in the future. The only problem I can see with this game is that either it's too hard to get your characters past those level caps, and your characters will be level 20, and the expansions will be like level 40, or I guess 40 is the one that you can break the first cap, but like the expansion is going to be like level 60 or 80, and it's just going to be like ridiculous because they still have parts of the map not unlocked yet that I don't know if I'll unlock them through the story or through expansions, but I can see that being a problem, that they don't have enough that it's gonna be hard to get your characters past those level caps that they force on you. That's one thing. Like, how good the game's going to do in the future is all depending on what they do. If they start going greedy route, and because of how many people are playing, and they start adding a whole bunch of pay to win action things and all this other stuff, I hope it's going to be bad. The game's going to turn bad later. But from what I know, people have told me Honkai Impact, which is the successor to this game, the only things that are really expensive for this game is the alternative costume for the characters, because I don't think they have alt characters. I think what they do, they have alt costumes for the characters, and I don't know if that changes their abilities or anything, but they have alt costume for the characters. I think that's how they said it in Honkai Impact, how that worked. So future, like if you want a Christmas outfit, they're probably going to charge for some Christmas outfits and stuff for your favorite characters and all that. But overall, this game is really, really good. I really recommend it. It's free. The internet requirement, like, it's for PC, I think, and for your phone, but I heard for the phone it's not that good. It makes your phone like, it just doesn't work. It's too graphically advanced for your phone. It does work for like the top of the line phones, but phone, iPad, PC, and for PlayStation 4. And I play it on PlayStation 4. So if anybody want to meet up, hey, I would like to, we can exchange and play a little bit, because I think at level 16 you get co-op. So you have to play a little bit to actually get to where you can do co-op with me. And the internet for the game, like, I go back to that one last thing, because this is something important. I'm trying to make sure I get everything important in this video that I want to talk about. The internet for this game, I think because it's a downloaded game that you can download, I think the world is downloaded onto your console, and the characters, and most of the characters are, because there's times, maybe I see in the footage, there's times where my internet is absolutely abysmal. I think, did it say was the ping like 536 at some point? There is no lag. There's lag in the PS4 version naturally. I don't know why. I don't know, because it's not the most optimized for it, but there's no lag from the internet in this game. Now, if I had people over into my world, it probably would have lag, but for the most part, it's in between. It's 60. It's 60 60 ping, but there's times where it dips to 500, and I think it's just part of the server, but it's also because of my internet sometimes, just because of how stuff is going on with COVID. But overall, I gotta say, internet's great. It doesn't lag. Great. Everything about this game is great, and if they keep it up, this will probably be a big staple on how to deal with gachas and MMOs, and just how to play games online in general, free to play online games, because this game has raised the bar. I gotta say, this has definitely raised the bar. I really recommend you guys play it, download it and play it. I heard there was some type of download issue and also some type of software issue with it, like not closing all the way, but they actually resolved both of those, so there's nothing to worry about. No like spyware, no nothing, at least from the outside that we all know of. So try this game out. Tell me how you guys like it. If you guys want to link up at some point, or somebody wants to link up, I have probably on Twitter, hit me on Twitter. And I really appreciate all the love and support for this video. I know it was a little long one, and I kind of went on and on, but there's a lot about this game, and I kind of want people to know about it. And I'll see you guys in the next video and or stream. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.